Afternoon. I want to start with this chaos has erupted across Johannesburg and Tshwane in the past hour. Reporters are out right now on that story. Masego Ratlaga in the Johannesburg CBD, Aviwe Mtila in the Pretoria CBD, and Tshego Moagi is in Turffontein. I want to go to the Johannesburg CBD first. We're hearing of rubber bullets being shot, Masego, in the past 5 minutes. Good afternoon. Tell me what's happening.
Well, Jeremy, when we first arrived here, it was actually a little more calm, although we saw a whole lot of people, hundreds of people on the streets of Johannesburg. They were burning what looked to us as though it was rubbish that came from the bins. But I'm going to go straight, to come off the screen, Jeremy, so I can show you. On the floor there is a man. And I hate to say this, but since we've arrived, he's been on the floor. He looks like he's dying. About 5 minutes ago, we could see him kicking his feet and moving his arms, but now he's scaringly still. Oh, there he is, moving again. There's a lot of blood that we are seeing around him, around the man. There's a lot of blood that we are seeing that is closer to his arm and his head. We're not sure exactly what happened, but when we spoke to witnesses earlier, Jeremy, they said that there were some live rounds, what seemed to be live rounds that people were unleashing about 30 minutes ago or so, and it looks like he was hit, and that's when he fell to the ground. We tried to get two of the witnesses to speak to us, but of course police then arrived and there was a lot of shooting of rubber bullets, and obviously the crowd dispersed. I'm going to ask my colleague Teddy, Jeremy, to just come with me a little bit behind us. There is a large crowd of people, but also at the top of the buildings in the Johannesburg CBD, as you can imagine, there's a whole lot of people who reside in the Johannesburg CBD, and as you can see there, it's one of the buildings where there are a lot of onlookers. There are a lot of people also on the street. Many of the people who reside here have come out of their homes, and I'm going to ask my colleague Teddy to also just come behind us. If you could just turn around with me so that I can show you more of the witnesses that are here. Earlier on when we arrived, Jeremy, there were no police vehicles that we found, and we started also feeling a bit unsafe, but now we've seen a police nyala. We've seen now they've actually also cordoned off the scene as a crime scene. I'm going to try, Jeremy, for you to go closer to the people who are here to see if we can get somebody who might just speak to us. Hello everyone. Ninjan bab. Bab.
Awananto kwenza nalonto. Into ayifunayo nje ukuthi babuke bame njengoba ubabona bebukile lapho. Lamntana ungathola ukuthi abezawusinda. Kodwa for the sake ukuthi abene hours ezingaka elele pha. Uendaba lo mntana eshona. Omunye endimbuzayo ongukapteni apha. Uthi xa ndinalo usizo kuthe ndingamsizi lo mntana.
Oh, Baba. Jeremy, just to quickly translate for you, they're very upset. What they are saying is that this man has in fact been on the floor for quite a long time, and they are worried about police not helping him, and they are stressed that this man will die right here on the street. It's back to you in studio.
Just very quickly, I need you to contextualize this for me, Masego. Explain to me exactly where this is happening and tell us which are now the no-go zones in the Johannesburg CBD, and how did we get to this point? What's the issue?
Well, Jeremy, from our understanding is that there was a fire around the Johannesburg CBD over the weekend, and 3 people passed away in that fire. 4 people have been arrested so far, as we understand, after some looting of the shop. So right now we are in Hillbrow. There's also more activity happening in Jeppes Town. We understand that there are a lot of shops that have been looted. There are people's, for instance, car dealerships have also been vandalized, where vehicles have also been burned. But right now we are in the Hillbrow part of the Johannesburg CBD, and what I can tell you for sure is that this is definitely a no-go area. No part of Johannesburg. Actually, maybe you can go in other parts, but definitely not Jeppes Town and Hillbrow at the moment. They seem to be wanting to speak to us more, Jeremy, about what they've witnessed so far. I don't know if we have any time to ask.
We don't have time, Masego. We're going to leave it there. Back to you a little bit later. I want to go straight to Pretoria now. Reporter Aviwe Mtila is in the Pretoria CBD with the latest. Again, settle yourself or situate yourself for me. And what are you seeing right now, Aviwe?
Well, it's certainly a chaotic scene in most parts of the CBD here in Pretoria. The violence, I'm told, is moving from one place to another. It doesn't remain for long. And the scenes that you'll see is that a lot of trucks, such as the 2 trucks behind me, is the scene that you'll see in some of the intersections around here. I'm told that these 2 trucks were being driven by foreign nationals who were then, disturbed in their route, taken out of the car forcefully, and then they were proceeded to be beaten up. Luckily, they escaped, but the keys of the trucks can't be located at this stage. There's a heavy police presence in and around Pretoria, such as the police that you see here. They're trying to clear the situation at this very moment. But what you'll see from time to time is an influx of police cars, about 11 or so, just running around with the sirens on, going to another location because of the violence that's erupted there instantly. So they have to keep on moving, and I'm being told there that they have surveillance on the CCTV cameras that is assisting in locating where the violence is, and 1 man has been arrested at this stage. But I'm being told that foreign nationals are being taken out of the trucks and they're being beaten up at this moment.
What response has there been from authorities in the city?
Well, the authorities at this stage do not want to say much, but I'm being told by one of the policemen that I spoke to just a short while ago that this violence seems to have criminal elements of it. They've taken it away from the taxi violence that we saw last week, and they briefly they're blaming this one largely on criminal elements because these people are just moving from one area to one area, and the taxi operators are actually operating at this moment. So they're not even blaming the taxi operators more than criminal elements to this.
All right. Viwe Mtila, for the moment, thank you. So what do we know at this point? Great parts of Hillbrow in Johannesburg, no-go areas at this point. A similar situation in Tshwane. Let me take you live now to the south of Johannesburg. A similar situation, I'm told, in Turffontein. Tshego Moage, good afternoon to you. Again, just position yourself for us and tell me what you're seeing.
Good afternoon, Jeremy. I am currently on Hay Street here in Turffontein, where a number of shops were actually looted this morning. We do understand that the police in the area were outnumbered and they had to call in police from outside of Turffontein here south in Johannesburg. I just have to step out of shot, Jeremy, just so we can get an idea as to what actually happened here this morning. So those shops have been looted. We do know that some of the owners are now just trying to get back what was actually taken from them. And as you can see in the far distance there, Jeremy, can see the community that is waiting there. We understand that some of those community members are some of the people that actually looted these shops, and as they try and approach coming through onto this particular street, Hay Street, then the police would then fire rubber bullets just to ensure that no one takes any more from this particular area. So police really are just trying to monitor the area. We do understand about 20 people were arrested just from the looting this morning.
All right, Tshego, again, give me a sense then of what the police presence is like, and do they seemingly have the situation under control?
Definitely, at this moment, it does seem like they've got the situation under control, Jeremy. Right now, we've got about 2 police vans that are actually here, and quite a number of police, about 6 or 8 of them, that are actually just monitoring the situation here. Earlier, however, Jeremy, about an hour ago when we arrived here, there was an extremely heavy police presence on Hay Street here in Turffontein, and then they have already moved out the way just so that more police can come in here and just to monitor this area. So they're trying their best to keep the area as quiet as possible. However, some of the residents that I have spoken to here saying that they are concerned that the situation could flare up later tonight.
All right, Tshego Moage in Turffontein for the moment. Thank you very much indeed. I want to move on to another story. In fact, our lead story